During this time of unexpected NBA absence, 2K can help give us our basketball fix. Due to a lack of competition, it's really our only opportunity to get a simulation experience of the sport we all love. There's a lot of things I don't like about 2K, especially from the business side, but with it, I've had a lot of great memories. In this video, I want to look at some players that are better in 2K than in real life. There's a lot of players that just don't translate well to 2K. Guys like Isaiah Thomas, that despite averaging over 28 points in his best season, still wasn't that great in the game due to his height. Guys like Rudy Gobert and Bam Adebayo that are amazing players in real life, especially on the defensive end, but 2K has always been an offensive game, so despite their overall, they typically aren't nearly as effective as similarly rated players at their same position that are better on the offensive side. But starting it off with players that are better in the game, we have Steph Curry. Curry's been one of the biggest names in basketball over the majority of the past decade. He pioneered the three-point shot, took home 3 NBA titles and 2 MVPs. He's going to go down as one of the greatest players of all time. He's a knockdown shooter, both on and off the ball. His handle might only be comparable to Kyrie Irving and is flat out an underrated passer. So how could he be better in NBA 2K? Well, every year, 2K's put in a weird situation with Curry as they can't lower his attributes to reach a closer simulation. For him not to have all 99 shooting would just be disrespectful. He's the best shooter of all time. You can't give him bad dribble moves as he displays them on a nightly basis. Because of this, they're forced to put a player in the game every year that can be exploited. Almost every quote-unquote cheese in 2K, Curry's been a part of. The side-to-side cheese, the pick-and-roll cheese. There was even a time where three-point cheese was a common term. Over the last 5 years, I've become pretty known for being a Curry cheeser against the people I play on a regular basis. In 2K16, he had a layup animation where he threw the ball up to the rafters that was close to impossible to block. And since Curry has climbed the 2K overalls, every year you can just run side to side with or without a screen to get a wide open shot. Most years, you don't even have to be set. You could be at the half-court line, running full speed, about to fall out of bounds, and still have a pretty decent chance at hitting a green release. For those that have played 2K over the past couple years, Curry being on this list should be no surprise. Zach LaVine came into the league known for his remarkable ability to fly through the air and throw down some insane dunks. In his 6 seasons, he's grown a lot. Now, he's a 26-point-a-game scorer, shooting 38% on over 8 3-point attempts a game. Over the last couple years, Zach LaVine's been a pretty good player in 2K. Anytime a guy has a high dunk rating and a high 3-point rating, that player is going to be pretty good in the game, but I wouldn't say he's been overpowered. But if you go back to his first appearance in 2K15, he was one of the most broken players I've ever experienced in any sports game, period. I don't think I'll ever forget the Zach LaVine silver card in 2K15 My Team. Now, he was just as glitchy in play now, but at the time, My Team was my main mode. Literally, all you had to do was point the right stick at the basket, hold down the right trigger, and press square. It didn't matter who was there, Dikembe Mutombo, Hakeem Olajuwon, both of them, anyone. He was going to throw it down in their face. At the time, people had teams filled with guys like LeBron James and Kevin Durant, but still had that Zach LaVine silver card chilling there in their starting shooting guard spot. This was also a time where road to the playoffs was in My Team, and you were limited to just 1 silver in the first, ranked tier, whatever you want to call it. And anyone that knew what they were doing had LaVine as their silver card. Honestly, there was a lot of uproar about how insane LaVine was at the time, but I miss it. Then we have Ben Simmons, another player where 2K is put in a weird position. He came into the league as a forward, but since taking the court for the Sixers has been their starting point guard. That's not a debate. 2K has no option to put a 6'10", 230-pound point guard in the game that can handle the ball and pass like any other top-tier guard. You don't have to switch his position. You don't have to put him out of position. You turn on your console, boot up 2K, hop in a game with the 76ers against your friend, and you have a 6'10" point guard. Size rules in 2K. He can back down just about any other guard. He can rebound better than just about any other guard and becomes an impenetrable force on the defensive end. Ben Simmons is a great young player in real life. He's averaging 17 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists a game while being an all-NBA level defender, but he's undoubtedly leaps and bounds better in 2K. While adjustments can be made to limit his effectiveness, such as switching defensive matchups, that's not commonly done in the average in-home 2K game. Right now, you hop into a game, 76ers versus Hawks. Trae Young is going to be trying to guard Ben Simmons. That's just flat out unfair. Next, we've got a guy that's consistently been one of my favorite players to use in 2K as long as I've been playing the game, and that's J.R. Smith. Now for this video, I'm doing active players, but with J.R. Smith still fighting for a roster spot and being accessible in the game as a free agent, I decided to include him. Like we mentioned with Zach LaVine, there were two main attributes that usually translate to a player being better than their overall: dunking and three-point shooting. These are two attributes that J.R. Smith has always had pretty good ratings. But I think what separates him from similarly rated players in my personal experience is animations. As he's aged, the dunking isn't where it used to be, but nonetheless, he's always been gifted with some insane dunking animations. But the main reason I have him on here and why I think he's much better in the game than he ever was in real life is his jump shot. This year, 2K decided to add the dumbest badge I've ever encountered, and a big reason I haven't played the game nearly as much, and that's quick draw. Without this badge, or a high tier of this badge, the player's jump shot, regardless of the speed it actually is in real life, is unbearably slow. The thing that made J.R. Smith unguardable was his lightning quick release that over the past couple years I've nailed and would consistently green. One of the craziest things I've ever done in a video game was scoring over 100 points with J.R. in a My Team Online game. I think it was 2K17, maybe 2K18, and it was a playoff moments card. Another 2K memory I'll never forget. I've used J.R. Smith in 2K probably just as much as any other player. One of my favorite teams in 2K history, and a team I always go after when it comes to classic teams, is either the 2012 or 2013 Knicks. You had Carmelo in his prime, Amari Stoudemire, Tyson Chandler, Amon Shumpert, Steve Novak, Lynn Sanity on the 2012 team, and J.R. Smith. I'll take this team over just about any other classic team. 98 Bulls, give me the 2012 Knicks. 2013 Miami Heat, give me the 2012 Knicks. Moving away from the guards, we've got some front court players, starting with Giannis Antetokounmpo. Yes, the reigning MVP and debatably the best player in the whole league is better in 2K than real life. He's been unstoppable over the past few years for a lot of the same reasons as Ben Simmons. He's a 6'11" power forward that can dribble the ball like a wing and dunk on just about anyone. He usually starts the game already with a mismatch, but while Ben Simmons' mismatch is against other point guards due to his size, Giannis's comes from his ability to blow by just about any other power forward. But what makes Giannis even better than a guy like Simmons is the fact that he's a better player in real life, so 2K is forced to give him juiced attributes and badges. Last year, Giannis was completely broken. I got lucky enough to have him in a My League Online, and it just wasn't fair. I took the ball up with him every possession, and once I got past half court, I did a behind the back dribble, and from there was no stopping him. But I think why I really have him on this list is defense. We know in real life, Giannis is a defensive player of the year caliber player, but in 2K, his defense is just ridiculous. His size and quickness allows him to guard every position, sometimes multiple positions at once. He's just as effective as anyone as a rim protector, and he's the go-to option for people that have embraced the off-ball cheese. His ability to jump passes is like no other player I've experienced. I dabble in the off-ball every now and then, and I had several games last year where I had over 10 steals from Giannis interceptions alone. The players I want to talk about now are the towers of the league, the players that are well over 7 foot, that have always seemed to play way beyond their stats. I think the most notable over the last couple seasons has been 7'4" Boban Marjanovic. In real life, Boban's a pretty solid player. Per 36 minutes, he averages 25 points and 16 rebounds, but for a player of that size, it's just hard to play too many minutes. In 2K, that's not really a problem. While there's fatigue, that doesn't stop players from leaving him in the game quite effectively for much longer than they would play in real life. The weaknesses of extremely tall centers, such as coordination, just doesn't really transfer to the game well, leading them to being much better than real life. The Boban tier also includes rookie and viral sensation Tacko Fall. Sadly, you can't play with him on Play Now, but you can in My League, or 2K decided to add a 99 overall version in My Team. But I think the best of the NBA Giants is Kristaps Porzingis. He combines a dominant size at 7'3" that by itself would make him a great player in the game, but because he's a legit 20-point per game scorer, he actually has decent ratings and a 3-point shot. So these are the players I felt strongest about, but there's definitely some honorable mentions. You've got Terrence Ross, who's always been a beast in 2K. He again has that valuable skill set of being able to dunk out of his mind, but also hit the three-point shot. Gerald Green, who was recently waived by the Denver Nuggets, but in that 2K13-14 era, Green was unstoppable. Similar to a young LaVine, he played way beyond his overall, being able to just run at the basket and throw it down on 5 defenders with ease. The last guy I feel I have to mention is Zion Williamson. I haven't found him to be too overpowered in this year's game, but as I said, I really haven't played it too much, but I know it's just about any other 2K, Zion would be absolutely ridiculous. While he's undersized, and that usually isn't great in the game, he would have enough strength to not get abused and enough speed for him to be good on ball, but giving a 285-pound player an extremely high vertical, 99 dunking, and all the best dunking badges is just a recipe for pick and roll lob cheese to the extreme. These were just my thoughts, really based on a lot of personal experience. I want to know your thoughts in the comments below, but if you liked the video, make sure you like and subscribe, and the shoutouts are gonna be King Hudson, Lucas, Young, and William. If you guys want to shout out in the next video, all you gotta do is like the video and comment liked or rep notification squad, and I'll shout 5 you guys out. With all that being said, hope you guys have a great day, and peace.